Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back. This is iAllegedly, and I've got a really good one for you today. The return of the 10-minute eviction is back. It's crazy, but it's back. I am in Laguna Beach by accident today. Started out in Newport Beach, and the boat parade is going on, and they are towing cars. If you are not there with a permit, they're towing cars. So it's absolutely crazy, and I'll share a little bit of that later with you. Before I get into it, please take a second. Please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. Share this with everybody. Don't forget to join the email list, which is in the video description below. Now, let's get into it. First things first, the 10-minute eviction is back. The state of Arizona has a process and a program that they can send people out and evict you, and you get 10 minutes to leave and vacate the property. There's a constable, Lenny McCluskey, who has evicted and removed over 20,000 people from their homes. And since the moratorium has been lifted, Mr. McCluskey has evicted over 300 people. And there's a great story I found about how one day he had 16 people to evict in one day, and shows up at the house and court order, you guys have to leave right now. You've got 10 minutes. Grab what's important. You can make arrangements with the owner to come back and get your belongings later, but you have to be out of here in 10 minutes. And, people step outside the place. The locksmith changes the locks immediately, and it's no longer their residence. They throw out families. They throw out children. They throw out people that, some had no idea they were getting evicted when this guy shows up. That's the crazy part. Now, here's the thing. Certain states have lax, eviction rules. They're more pro landlord than they are pro tenant. And, Arizona's one of them. Indiana, Florida, Texas, Alabama, Georgia. I think I got them all. But anyways, Indiana, if I didn't say that. Anyways, all these states have really different rules that are pro landlord, and if you don't pay your rent, get out. But here's the thing. These people were served court notices. They, just ignored the court notices. And with that, they have these strict rules that throw people out. 10 minutes, okay? Now, the crazy thing about this is that some of these people got eviction moratorium money. They got rental relief during this time and absolutely squandered it. And Mr. McCluskey, he's a constable. He would go into these people's houses, and some of them have completely trashed the units, where they've taken spray paint and completely destroyed the inside of the apartments, knocked out walls, and just gutted places. Other people just sitting there, in their underwear, playing video games without a care in the world, because they thought that they would never get kicked out. And, other people had families, horror stories where they lost their jobs and things like that. But this is happening more and more and more. And again, the evictions are back, guys, completely. Look at the birds, guys. All the pigeons are coming out. I don't think I've got food or something for them. But anyways, this is absolutely in full swing right now. And there's, some states have put things off. Arizona's not messing around. They are absolutely going full throttle to get people out. The foreclosures are happening as well, and we're seeing a slew of foreclosures, and I'll cover that a little bit later in the video also. But there's a lot of stuff to talk about in this video in regards to some of the local business, national business, and different things. But you're seeing a real problem with these evictions. It's terribly sad, but people went out and they applied for this rent forgiveness and this rental assistance. $46 billion. When you add it all up, that's what was put together for rental assistance, and people did not use that. And these bureaucracies have not given these people this money. So this is horrible. It's happening. And but what they're seeing is that there are some states that don't mess around. California, the eviction laws are a lot more lax. It takes a long time to kick somebody out of the house. The biggest thing that people have told me, landlords, everybody, is that if people are communicating with the judge, if they get a notice and they go to the judge and they say, hey, I have applied for rental assistance, it's usually giving people some time to see if they can get that rental assistance or not. But people are not getting this money in a timely fashion. You know, one story I read where they're bragging about how $30 billion has been dispersed and people are not getting this. One story that's connected below, which is absolutely sickening, is a woman applied for rental forgiveness, rental help, and they kicked her out, and the landlord still got the money. And this woman is literally homeless right now, sleeping on her friend's sofa. So we're seeing more and more of that as well. So again, I know, pay your bills. I'm going to hear all this stuff from people. It's absolutely terrible. But the thing that you're not seeing in the mainstream is this right here. You're not seeing that people are getting evicted within 10 minutes to spare. So, I mean, absolutely crazy. Now, here's one thing, okay? You know, I was going to go down to Newport today, and I forgot that the boat parade was back, okay? Even though I saw it the other night. And I pull into a parking lot, and I'm like, hey, I just want to go film, you know, on the harbor. And, oh, listen, so if you cross the street, we're going to tow your car. That's the first thing. So then I go to a doctor's office, and they have a pay machine there for you to pay for the parking lot. And I'm like, okay, I'll just pay to park at this guy's office. Well, Dr. Jackass raised the rate for his parking lot today for $65, okay? I'm not making that up. For you to park for an hour, 10 minutes, anything, it's $65 to park your car there. So take a look at this, because I'm not making it up, and $65 to park your car in Newport Beach today. You know, it's crazy. Here I am right outside Balboa Island. I was going to walk around the island to film, but they want to charge in the parking machine $65 to park your car. I'm not kidding you. Take a look at this. $65 to park your car. The owner wants $65 to park your car in this parking lot. $65. Now, the landlords are just sick of dealing with this. And what we're seeing in a lot of jurisdictions, especially places like Arizona, is you're seeing massive rent increases. Huge numbers, 20%, 30%, even 40% rent increases in some areas. It's absolutely crazy. Now, with that being said, you know, landlords, like when Mr. McCloskey was evicting people that day and removing them from the house, the management company would sit there and say, listen, I already have a check for this unit, 20% higher to take it over. Now, the management company is going to be shocked when they go in some of these houses. When you read the article below and you see how these people trash this stuff, it is absolutely, I don't understand people's thinking. You get to live here for free, you don't pay, and then you trash the unit. That makes absolutely zero sense to me. So we're seeing a ton of that right now. The other thing that doesn't make any sense is the, you know, in 2008, when people were foreclosed on, one thing that was really, I don't want to say it was popular, but one thing that happened quite often was you had people that absolutely destroyed houses. I mean, literally ripped walls out, took out copper wire, took out the appliances, sold light fixtures, just completely destroyed houses. And with this rental moratorium that happened, that's what happened to these units. Houses and apartment complexes. But Mr. McCloskey went to a unit, a 300-unit apartment complex that he served a bunch of people for their eviction notices. And I mean, it was crazy, the absolute devastation, destruction that these people did to these units. It makes zero sense to me, okay? You're living there for free and you destroy the unit. Doesn't make sense. Now, there's a place called the Eviction Lab. The Eviction Lab keeps track of evictions in multiple states. It was up 10% in August. You saw evictions go up 30%. In September, October, almost 40% to above 40% again in November. So you're seeing these huge eviction spikes that you didn't have prior to the moratorium being lifted, but it's only going to continue, guys. This is just going to escalate with more and more numbers. And when you have constables like this, think about this number. Mr. McCloskey, with his interview, was talking about how he had 16 evictions that day, but there were 16 other officers that had 16 evictions also, just in Maricopa County. So you're seeing this around the country, but you're seeing areas where they're just literally walking up, get out, okay? And the thing that Arizona has that absolutely floored me, that we don't have here in California, okay? And that's wacky California, is that if they think that you're doing something suspicious or criminal in the unit, prostitution, drug sales, anything illegal that they determine is wrong, okay, they can throw you out and end the lease immediately, okay? So they're doing that too. So, you know, a lot of landlords are going to people and saying, hey, we're gonna move back in the unit in 60 days, get out, and they're throwing people out because of that. But they're doing this clause because they think that these people are doing something nefarious, and in some of these areas, they're not the best of neighborhoods. And if you read the article, you'll see what they were describing. But it makes it so that they're just giving these people notice and move out and grab what's important to you. You can get the rest from the landlord later. And when the people step out the door, they change the locks and it's no longer their residence. Wow, okay? So share your thoughts on all this stuff, guys. I really want to know what you think about that. Now, along with evictions, there's foreclosures. And what you're seeing is a huge uptick in foreclosures. You've got states like Virginia, Georgia, and New York that had huge appreciation in their home prices in the last couple of years, especially the last year. One thing that we're seeing is that people that have been economically challenged, maybe a spouse lost a job, or they're just not making as much money as they made, pre-health crisis, these people are getting foreclosed because they cannot afford the property taxes in these states. So property taxes in these states have gone up respectively about 21%. So that's a huge increase. And that, again, when people do the math on buying a house and they get an adjustable rate loan, or they get themselves, looking at, the expenses, nobody sits there and says, what if my house goes up, $400,000? Would I be able to afford this place? Some people, sometimes the answer is no. But what they're seeing is that the lack of payment on the property taxes is getting people into foreclosure. I had someone reach out to me early last summer, and they said, listen, I'm in forbearance, and I just got a foreclosure notice because I haven't paid my property taxes in over a year. Well, yeah, okay. So different states treat this differently. Now, you can sit there and say they shouldn't have done that, and it wasn't right, and forbearance and everything, but it's not like that, guys. And they are starting to foreclose on people. If you don't have adequate equity in your house and you leave forbearance and you could not negotiate a deal with your bank, trouble's coming, guys. Trouble's coming in a big, big way. So that being said, guys, you're going to see more and more foreclosures. We haven't seen, millions like they thought, but they've also kept us quiet. So the other thing that's been kept quiet is, all the evictions from all the different residential apartments and houses and things like that. We've just not really heard, a tremendous amount about yet. So, share your thoughts on all this stuff, guys. I want to know what you think about this. But the real estate market, for everybody to think that it's just going to continue, and again, Realtor.com did an article, and it's below, where they talk about housing prices are going to shoot up next year. They're going to go up 6.2%, and it's going to be fantastic. And the people at Realtor.com are imbeciles. And to get people into the top of the market because you want to make a commission is absolutely disgusting. It's absolutely horrible, and people need to look at that, because that's what they're doing to these people right now. This is something that people need to understand. There's people that can go out and afford to buy houses right now, okay? In the neighborhood I'm in, okay? Some serious wealth behind me, okay? That being said, okay, one thing that's funny, my last video with the Christmas lights, one thing that people said, people thought those were condos. No, those were individual houses that are 8 to 10,000 square feet that those people live in. So needless to say, living up above the bay, looking down, those are probably, $8-10 million houses, whatever they are up there. You can look up Kings Road and Newport Beach and Cliff Drive and places like that, and take a look at Zillow. But again, people are getting foreclosed on. The banks are working deals out, and then they're not working deals out. So share your thoughts on all this stuff, guys. One thing that people keep asking is, who has the most foreclosures? Now, the state with the most foreclosures is Illinois. That's followed by Florida. Now, what they do is they rank these based on the number of per 1,000 homes, okay? And the city with the most foreclosures is Cleveland, Ohio, okay? Cleveland, Ohio, it's like, less than 1 in 3,000 people that own homes are in foreclosure. So it's quite a bit when you look at the numbers. The second is Lakeland, Florida. Lakeland, Florida's got a huge amount of foreclosures there. And one thing about Florida that's crazy right now is that there are classes being taught right now in Florida. I have a Patreon member that reached out to me and is signing up for these classes that teach people how to get through the short sale process. And it's already happening, guys. So everything's good. Things are shooting up. There's no real estate crisis in your mind, okay? So things are overpriced, and again, if you're rich and you can afford the payment and you're not worried about your job or your income or anything like that, go get a house, go do it all you want. But the thing that you're seeing right now is that people are basically, this is the top of the market. This is the top of the top right now that we're seeing right now. So share your thoughts on this stuff, guys. I really want to know what you think about this. Now, this beautiful state has to be the most unfriendly small business state on the planet Earth. Today, it was just announced that the California Air Resource Board, or CARB, just passed a law that you cannot have gas-powered generators, okay? By 2024, think about this. You have to have the generators have to produce or reduce emissions by 40 to 90%. Okay, so do you want these engines to run? Okay, the answer is no. Clearly, they don't want a gas-powered anything. If these things are attached, even to a motorhome, they have to be removed. Okay? How insane is that, guys? Now, think about people that live off the grid. Okay? It's going to be illegal to have one of these generators. By 2028, they're going to be zero emissions. Okay? Now, you can say, Dan, you can get an electric generator. They're fantastic. No, they're not. And I'll give you a perfect example. A friend of mine bought one for almost $1,000 for her van to travel with. It's an electric generator, Dan. It's going to be great. I'm going to have heat. I'm going to be able to drive to the ocean. I'm going to be able to camp in the middle of nowhere and be able to live off the land. Well, she plugged in a simple little space heater, 1,500 watts. Oh my gosh, Dan, that's way too much. It reduced the entire power in this thing in 12 minutes. 12 minutes, guys. So again, these things are worthless. It's crazy to think about this. It's going to destroy small business here in the state of California. Now, the next thing is I went to my favorite breakfast spot today, and they watched the channel, they saw everything. They were just notified from their pork supplier that all pork products, all of them, okay, sausage, ground sausage, sausage links, bacon, sausage patties, everything, they will not be able to get as of January 1st, okay, because of the new pork law. Now, what are we gonna do? Well, I gotta be honest with you, what do you do if you go out to breakfast? Eat what, tofu and eggs? I mean, come on, guys, okay? Boy. Okay? Sometimes you need a little sausage patty, well done. Yo, you know what I mean? So, needless to say, they're a small fish that deals with a small independent supplier, and the place has been in business like 40 years, okay? Now, this place is basically finished if they don't get the supply worked out. They were told they could go to Cisco, the large supplier, and Cisco said, send us pictures of what the stuff looks like so we can see if we can match it. Think about that. Pictures of sausage patties of that recipe. How do you send a picture of that over, guys? Okay? So, this, guys, it's just getting worse and worse and worse right before our eyes. So, needless to say, this whole bacon thing, it's going to escalate. I wonder what McDonald's is going to do with their sausage and egg McMuffin and places like that. Oh, they'll figure it out. And people are going to write to me and say, Dan, there's not real meat in that anyways. that being said, what do these people do? Okay? So please share your thoughts on all this stuff, guys. I really want to know what you think. And again, no generators, guys. Okay? Only in California. Now, remember, they got rid of the gas power weed blowers 2 months ago, and the gas-powered chainsaws. By the way, I spoke to a tree trimmer. You know, I was at a Starbucks, and I said, "Hey, tell me about these electric chainsaws." And the guy started laughing, and he showed me some of the equipment in his truck. I should have filmed it, but you cannot duplicate what a gas-powered chainsaw can do with these electric chainsaws. It's just not happening. The electric generators that people think is going to be some windfall, no one's going to buy those. They're horrible. I'm telling you this. You know, if they want me to sponsor it, yeah, it'd be a really short sponsorship with me telling people they don't work. So share your thoughts on all this stuff, guys. I'm going to end this video with these last 3 stories. In regards to the foreclosures, you're starting to see commercial projects that run out of money. And what the lenders do, people in real estate, I'm always interested in their the ingenuity to do things, to prolong stuff, and how they get construction loans for such large amounts of money. There is a Williamsburg project in the state of New York, 427 Marcy Street, I think that's the address. This building, they have $25 million worth of loans. Was supposed to be completed in April of this year, never got completed, but this is one of those live-work units where, you know, you can have the office space and the condo space, and the place is done, but they're finally foreclosing on that. And this is from the Real Deal website. The story's below. There's going to be a lot more things like that. And state of Oregon just passed a rental assistance law where they have another $200 million to help people with rental assistance. Now, whether that sounds like a lot of money or not, you know, that's your call. Look at how low the tide is out here now, you guys. This normally gets all covered with water and waves and everything like that, and there's nothing out here right now. So, Senate Bill 5561 is set up so that it would give $200 million worth of rental assistance, and it would give an extra $20 million to hire people to get help on processing this. But here's the crazy part about this. If you apply for rental assistance in the state of Oregon, you can stay in your unit until dun, 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 September 2022. So if you are in the landlord business in the state of Oregon, jump, okay? That's all I can say, okay? Because if this thing goes through, Senate Bill 5561, that's going to be crazy. And the final thing that I'm going to end this with is good old San Francisco. You know, there is a lot of crime, and we're trying to do stuff about it. And yeah, how about prosecute criminals? That would be number 1, okay? Number 2, people think about what I'm telling you. They're taking their cars and they are leaving the doors open, leaving the trunks open on their SUVs, so that when people and the thieves walk by, they can see that there's nothing to steal, okay? And it's in the stories below. This is absolutely insanity that these people are doing this. And again, San Francisco is hell. I would never go back there. I'm so glad I'm not going back in January. And share your thoughts on this, guys. Oh, it's such a romantic city, Dan. You don't understand it. You're right, I don't understand it at all. This is what you guys wanted with the crime, and you got it. And these people are not being prosecuted at all. So share your thoughts on all this stuff. Share your thoughts on the 10-minute evictions. Share your thoughts on all this stuff, guys. I really want to know what you guys think about this. But, you know, don't forget, we've got the email list you can sign up for. Please don't forget the like button, the subscribe button. Share this with everybody. And onward and upward, guys. I will see you very soon.